Well, thanks for staying with us on the program this morning. The conversation gets even thicker. This is in line with projections towards the 2027 general elections. Opposition coalition leaders have pitched their tents with the African Democratic Congress ADC. This is following the resignation of the pioneering national chairman and founder, Chief Ralph Nwosu, who gave way for the Senator David Mark-led takeover. Now, in our studios this morning is the national youth leader of the ADC, talking about Icon Nixon, Chukwuka. Good morning to you, Icon, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, one thing that came to note when we saw that takeover was the accusation by many opposition figures that the ADC is now being taken over by persons who have been with us since 1999. That brings into question youth involvement in the ADC. I don't know if you've been much of a party since it was registered in 2016. How long have you been with the party?
Yes, thank you very much. The ADC wasn't registered in 2016. The ADC has been existing since 2005.
Talking about when it came into full in terms of contention for the presidency.
Okay. Yeah. I've been with the party for like 3 years now. And like you said, ADC is the only political party that gives room for youth participation in politics fully. They support them 100%. There's no youth activities that goes on in ADC without the support of the NWC or the NEC. You understand? As you can see, if you check other political party youth leaders, you would understand that most of them are like 40, 50. I'm the only Nigerian youth leader that is very, very young. And ADC gave me that chance, gave me the opportunity to serve, and I'm serving very well.
3 years now in service?
No, just 1 year.
Just 1 year, but you've been with the party for 3 years now.
For 3 years.
Now, I also quite recently talked about the presidential candidate, and hence my reference to 2016.
Okay.
Odimbu. He went viral following a media parley where he was vehemently kicking against the takeover, saying that the consultation was not made across board and it doesn't sit well with him. Did you see his media chart?
Yes, I saw the media chart, and actually, those are the enemies of the ADC.
Enemies?
Yes, those are the enemies.
Why do you say
ADC.
so?
Because this discussion, this coalition discussion, have been going on right from time, and everybody was carried along,
including a former presidential candidate of the party, Odimbu, who is now an enemy in your words.
Yes, because he took us to court. He wanted to hijack the party. The party belongs to Nigeria and Nigerians. You understand? It's a political party. It's not a company. So because of the resistance, he left the party. We know he's in PDP. You understand? He was working for PDP then. So all of these things we know.
When you say then, as a president,
yes, of course. Of course. He's from my state. He's from my local government. But I don't support politics of bitterness. Do you get me? So I want to, all Nigerians to focus. This coalition has come to stay, and we are going to unseat President Ahmed Bola Tinubu come 2027. No matter what, in fact, come what may, will collapse the impossible.
Now, it's also the position of what people are calling a power grab. Whilst Nigerians are looking for alternative in terms of voting in 2027, it's the notion that the party is here to rival the president. You just reiterated it. Is the party looking to provide an alternative for Nigerians to vote as against the kick President Bola Ahmed Tinubu out agenda?
Come again.
My question is on alternative leadership in terms of policies.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of the coalition leaders say the current policy decisions taken have put Nigerians in hardship. But it seems as though there is an agenda to kick the president out as against provide alternative policy. Where do you stand on that?
Yes, as regards to that, like I said, ADC is the only credible alternative, and Nigeria has come to embrace it. That is the truth. Yeah, you get it? And we have so many good policies, you understand? And I want to assure Nigerians that ADC is going to provide a very, very sound and young presidential candidate for our party, for for
A
Nigeria.
young candidate.
Yes.
How young would be the next question?
Very young.
Has the party begun deliberations on who the flag bearer is?
For now, our national chairman, former national chairman Ralph Fosu, he has done his best, and we love him. And this man from Senator Kenneth Bandi, he contested for Senate in 2023, and the man has been doing very well in diaspora. So there are many discussions as regards to that. But this is a new leadership. So for now, I can't tell. But ADC is not going to disappoint Nigeria in terms of presidential candidacy.
Before we get to 2027, there might be a litmus test for the ADC in 2026. Shun. The big questions are with someone in the steads of Aregbesola. How much can he shake the polity, Shun, come 2026 as a testament to what the party can do in 2027?
Everybody knows Aregbesola is a political juggernaut. You understand? And like I tell you, see, ADC has taken over Nigeria. That's the truth. We are going to win Oshun, hands down.
Currently, I can't say there are so many ADC persons, particularly in the legislature, across states. The party has vied in several elections. Yeah. The performance in terms of the number of seats that have been clinched hasn't been too glorying as you painted. What's your conviction based on that this party would produce seats going into the elections that come?
It's not about the party now. This is about Nigerian. Are you getting me? It's about our country. It's about our collective destiny. People are dying of poverty and hunger. This is not just about party. It's about the youth. It's about men and women of good conscience. Are you getting me? So Nigerians will provide. In fact, ADC is just a platform.
So away from party affiliations,
yes,
it's just a platform.
It's just a platform to produce the next Messiah.
Why it's concerning now is because I've seen statements from some ADC coalition members that they'll be looking to employ much of what the FCT minister is doing in terms of remaining in their old parties while embracing the ADC in romance ahead of the election. Do you think that this would be tenable in our democratic space now? Wouldn't it form some sort of anti-party involvement? No,
it is not anti-party. For now, this particular question, I would like to skip it because...
Why skip it? It's the most important question.
No, I would like to skip it because, you see, this is individual decision. It's an individual decision. So probably they want to do... anybody will want to do that. But I can tell you for free that in the ADC, you understand, so long you are bringing your expertise, you are bringing your experiences and all of that, it is fine. What Nigerians want is to unseat Tinubu. That is all.
I know you've said you won't talk about the candidates, but a certain Mr. Peter Obi, who is part of the coalition, is still hanging close to his Labour Party card to his chest. He's keeping it to his chest. He hasn't decided to join the ADC fully. And I know you've said it's personal decisions.
Of course.
But in choosing a candidate who you've already told us would be young, what does this do for the party?
You want me to say things, but to an extent.
That's why you're here. The viewers are killing.
Of course.
Anticipating.
No, with time, everything will unfold. With time, everything will unfold. We just started the coalition, So with time, everything will unfold. I'll come back again.
Before you come back, I'd like you to also to react to some of the major headlines that were on the front pages of more than 4 newspapers this morning.
Okay.
The coalition is also alleging that there are backroom plots by the presidency, some of the aides of Mr. President, to destabilize the party. And there are some litigations in the work. There might be some court cases following the involvement of some persons in the opposition who are now pitching tent with the ADC. Yeah. What do you make of this allegation that the presidency is looking to destabilize the ADC?
ADC can never be destabilized. We will chase them. If we find them, we'll chase them out. Like I said, the party, in fact, 70% of the party's membership are youths. We will chase them out. In fact, ADC is not like other political parties. We will chase them out. Wallah, we will chase them out.
Oh, well, we'd hold you to your words in the coming days. But let's also talk about the credentials of You've talked about Mr. Aregbesola. Let's talk about the former two-time Senate President, David Mark, who was at the receiving end of some criticism by the FCT minister, who says he's been around the longest serving Senate President. But in terms of his local government, Otukpo, it has not seen a said transformation in terms of his impact over the years. He was military administrator in Niger State as well. A lot of persons are sharing the notion that leading a party such as the ADC, he ought to have had credentials that will speak to the credibility of other leaders coming on board.
You see, when it comes to politics, everybody wants to claim to be sent, you understand. For Senator David Mark, he has the experience. The FCT minister is no match to Senator David. It's no match or whatsoever. He talks from the both sides of his mouth. You talk here, you talk here, you talk here without, as in no facts. No facts.
So is it a fact that the Otukpo local government is not underdeveloped as he paints it?
Otukpo local government is developed. Do you get me?
He said it was lacking basic infrastructure, that the ex-Senate president had to use a chopper to fly down there. Those were some of his words, if I'm allowed to quote him.
Okay, that's fine. Anybody can use... okay, look at what happened during Natasha homecoming. She used chopper. It's a choice. It's a choice. So, I'll see... For FCT, in fact, nobody's even taking him serious anymore because he talks too much. He talks too much. So he should just face his this thing and leave ADC alone. They are very scared of the coalition. They are very scared.
The ADC is scared of the coalition.
Very scared. Even the president is scared.
Why do you have this notion that they are scared?
They are very scared. We are not scared. Why would they be reacting negatively?
So you believe that most of their reactions has been in the
negative? They are very, very scared.
Now, before the coalition came up, there was a notion that the president dispelled. He said it's not his intention to drive Nigeria into a one-party state system. He also noted that for the opposition parties who are having some issues in terms of infightings, he's not expected to come settle it. As it stands now, and you've told us that there's one enemy of the party in its ex-presidential candidate. How many of such figures are there in the ADC, and are there possibilities that there might be some factions within the ADC as it stands?
There's no faction in ADC. Like I said, there's no faction. It's just individual enmity. You understand? Probably you are not happy with the party, but there's no faction. ADC can never be factionized. Never. ADC has no faction. Do you get me? ADC has no faction. So I don't see where somebody will just come, right? I did a disclaimer one time on Thursday, because aside the National Youth Leader constituency, where I am the National Youth Leader, we still have the ADC Continental Youth Council. So my public secretary in the ADC Continental Youth Council published something, and I had to debunk it.
What was published? Can you tell us?
Yes, it was like the question you asked me first, if everybody was carried along and all of that. I said, yeah. So he was pained.
So he said he was not carried along, if I get you correct.
Like I said, I represent the youth. I was carried along in the whole of the process.
But he said he was not carried along.
Yes, and now I represent him. I said you should have told me before do this publication.
Now, Icon, when I understand the terminology of carried along, it means due consultations. Were there invitations for a roundtable meeting? Were there consultations across?
Of course, like I said, the NWC.
Was he present at? So that's where I'm heading.
He's not an NWC member.
So the consultation was only for the National Working Committee members.
Yes, National Working Committee and NEC. And he's not part of this thing. So I said you cannot do that. You get me? I am there. I represent you. You understand? Your interest is protected. So why publish this kind of this article? It's very, very bad. And I had to tell him to bring it down because it doesn't speak well. You understand? Because in all entirety, he's very wrong.
But this notion that he is wrong, is it a part of his lack of knowledge of the party's constitutions? Because I believe right now that you spelt it that such consultations are only open to NWC and NEC members. Is this enshrined in the ADC's party constitution as well?
Of course.
Do you think he's not?
That is why we have structure, and that is why we have constitution. You understand? Probably he lacks the knowledge of it. So, but that has been settled because I told him it's just like the first son of the family representing the family in an occasion. Everybody cannot go. You understand? It will turn to, you know, a playground. You don't do that kind of meeting with everybody. No. That is why you have party structure. You have the NWC, which constitutes the national officer, and you have the NEC, which constitutes both the national officer and the state chairman. And each state chairman were all carried along. So go back and tell your people. Are you getting me? That is why you have a chairman that oversees a particular state.
Now, what's the position of the party's constitution on the resignation of a national chairman giving way for such an interim leadership like we've seen?
This is not about constitution now. Constitution can be compromised. People write constitution. This is about Nigeria. He's a political hero. Nobody. See, power is very sweet.
But you know that constitution are the laws that guide us.
Of course.
If at this point, choose when we amend such constitutions
at this point, no. At this point, no.
Working relationship.
No, at this point in time, what Nigeria wants is not. In fact, what the former national chairman did was a perfect choice. It was a perfect choice.
With disregard to the party's constitution?
The party's constitution, when it comes to resignation, like I said, nobody chase him out. It's a personal decision. And he consulted every member of the NWC and the NEC as regards to that. And we all agreed. Just to give way for a new Nigeria.
But if I understand you correctly now, the party's constitution does provide for notice, beyond consultation with the NEC members, provides for notice of resignation, also provides for the NEC and NOD's members to deliberate on who fills that vacancy. Is it by appointment or by a sort of election within the party?
It's election.
So, if I get you correctly, Senator David Mark was elected into that
No,
position.
he was not elected. Like I said, there's a room for appointment and there's room for election.
Let me not be too forward. Let me ask
like
the question.
Me,
how did he emerge? Let's just put it very elementary. How did he emerge?
The coalition.
By appointment?
Yes.
He was appointed, not elected?
Not elected.
So if I understand you correctly, the party constitution provides for
appointment.
Either of the two?
Yes.
So why are these persons now angry that it was supposed to be an election whereas he was appointed?
Nobody is angry.
You just said that your deputy under the youth wing.
Nobody is angry that Senator David Mark was appointed. The grievances there, according to that article, is just he said he was not carried along.
Oh, he was speaking for himself and not the youth in the ADC.
Not the youth. He cannot speak for the youth when I'm there. He personalized it. He personalized it, so that is just it. So it's a personal grievances.
Now, going forward, I know a lot of people would be keen on what the ADC's ideologies are in terms of how we can get Nigeria back on track. I don't know if it's also from a personal perspective that Mr. Peter Obi has spoken. Because speaking on a social media space on X, he said, one, that he wouldn't mind running for even if it's just one term of 4 years. That is enough time to bring about whatever impact is needed by a leader. Do you think that the ADC would be okay with that position of having emerged winners and only have to serve for a term?
It depends on the presidential candidates that emerge after the party primaries. That is it.
So 1 year, one term is okay for the party regardless of who emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Like I said, it is for the party to decide. Do you get me? Now, if Peter Obi said a single term is enough to transform Nigeria, like he said, that is his personal decision. It's coming from a place where nobody, he was not forced, he was not cajoled. He said it and all of that. Yeah, he submitted the this thing the day we did the coalition, the documents as regards
He
to
put
that.
it into a document.
Yes, it's documented.
Quite interesting. This is the first time I'm getting that
You
insight.
understand? He submitted this thing, you know. So that is justice. So it's a personal decision, you understand. So for anybody that emerges the ADC presidential flag bearer, it's fine. If he wants to do one thing, that is for him, you understand, to decide. It's not for the party.
Now, looking at antecedents, I know a lot of people will reference the 2023 general elections, how much of votes were closely decided in the emergence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, noting that former VP Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has his strengths in his own stead, and Mr. Peter Obi as well. And now together, they seem to be all in the coalition, although the debate are on who might choose to be running mate and who might choose to be vice. Off the back of this antecedents, what does this do for the party in terms of confidence going into 2027?
Yeah, like I said, ADC has been accepted by Nigerians and Nigerian youth. You know, we are tired. The youth especially, we are tired of, you know, Wayo government, according to African China. And the 2023 election was, in fact, he did very, very well. And if it might even interest you, the ADC endorsed Peter Obi in the 2020 general elections. The ADC endorsed him.
The party, not just the youth wing.
Not just the youth wing. The party endorsed Peter Obi in 2023 general election. You understand? So that is just so. In 2027, it will be very hot. It will be very hot. Nigerians are tired. As I was coming, ADC, everywhere ADC. APC is unpopular now. APC is no longer popular. It's no longer popular. They are very scared. They are scared of us. They are scared of the ADC. You understand? What they have in the APC are touts. When you come to the ADC, you see intellectualism at work. You see experience. You understand? What have they done for 2 years now? Nothing. You know, so that is just it, my brother. Like I said, Nigerians are tired.
Now let's
and we cannot wait for 2027.
Now let's talk about the party in terms of its ideology and membership.
Okay.
Now, what's the ideology and how does one come about becoming a member of the ADC?
It's very simple. We have a website where you can register online, and we'll have a manual registration. You pick up. You must be above at least 18 years. You understand? As an adult, you pick up your membership card. Then that's around 1,000 naira. But when it comes to the youth, if you are registering through the youth wing, it's for free. Do it for free, but it's just 1,000 naira, and a monthly membership dues 500 naira. So
this is more like a ward decentralization, because I understand other parties you have to go to your ward.
Ward, exactly.
But you can do this on the website without going to your ward.
You can do it. You can do it. That is why everything is they call it technology.
Mr. Icon, now talk to us about the party's ideology.
Yeah, our party is very. See, let me tell you something. I will streamline it because of time. The ADC is a very formidable party. Number one. Number two, youth inclusivity is major in the party, and not just youth with experience, youth with character, youth with competence, and this also translates to what we can do when we emerge as in government, because we are going to Aso Rock 2027. So as regards to our ideology, it's very simple: to transform this country.
National transformation.
Yes, to transform this country.
What will be the driving?
And that is, aside, there's something they call the ADC DNA.
What's the ADC DNA? I see you giving me a handshake.
Yes, you can see.
What does this symbolize?
Handshake means friendilism. You know, when somebody shake you, that person is friends with you. You understand? So we believe. In fact, anywhere you go, start shaking hands, because the time of broom has gone. This is time for handshake.
So in terms of getting Nigeria back on track, it
Exactly.
starts with the handshake.
With the handshake.
And this would translate to national transformation.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to understand the concept behind it, but that being as it may, talking about the youths in Nigeria, when we talk about our population, one of the most populous black nation, and a good percentage of this population are young persons. Over the years, the notion has been that the young persons have not been given a chance to actively play a role in decision making, in policy formation, and even emerging in elective positions in the country. That seems to have changed under the current administration. There have been a lot of youth appointments. What should Nigerian youths expect of the ADC? Peradventure, they emerge. Would it be more appointments, much like we're seeing under the APC government, youths being given a chance to play their role?
How many youths has been given a chance?
In a ministerial appointment,
How many of them?
two-thirds of that position are currently persons within the age brackets as certified by the UN.
Is the Minister of Youth a youth?
Talking about Engineer Adewale, he is a youth.
He's not a youth.
Why do you say he's not?
He's above 40. A youth from the ECOWAS this thing, from 16 to 29. Then when it comes to UN, from 15 to 27. Then Nigeria, from 18 to 35. He's not a youth.
So it's going forward.
But though he's young, but he's not a youth. So see, let me tell you something.
Why I'm asking is, are we going to borrow this template that the ADC government, persons above 40 might not be considered in the ADC government? Because if you were to appoint in the government of an ADC, would that be a criteria for appointments?
No, it will not be a criteria because, like I said, he's young. But don't say he's a youth. You understand? That youth is no. He's not a youth. And this government, they appoint young people, but not youth. It's not a autocracy system of government. Do you get me? But they appoint young people, but not much, like you said. It's no. So the ADC will do more. Like I said, ADC. It is only in ADC youth get ticket for free to contest election in the various this thing, either local government, House of Assembly, House of Rep or Senate, for free. For free. Even this current primary, we did our party primaries, I think 2 weeks ago or last week or so thereabout. Most of the youth, those people that are youth, got their ticket for free.
At the party primary level?
Yes. They got it for free. Nomination form and registration for free. APC, their own is about 10 million, 15 million. Why? So let me tell you something. The ADC has the interest, especially the national chairman, because that was his template while he was in power then. You understand? While he was in office, because he carried if you go to his office, his personal office, everybody working with him, everybody are youth. When I mean youth below 35 or 35, they are all youth. So the government would, youth and women, very well.
Inclusivity.
Very well.
Now let's talk
100.
about the current challenges of youths in Nigeria. Now, in today's Nigeria, what would you say are the challenges of the youths?
Well, the common one they will say is unemployment. Number two, most of our youth are entrepreneurs, and most of them, our major problem. I was telling one of my friends that our major problem where we have as youth, and that is also a problem for Nigerians too, is stable electricity. Nigerian youth are not lazy. Nigerian youth are not lazy. They are hustlers. They are experienced people. They are good at what they do. The ones that are into tech, they are very good. The ones that are into building, they are very good. The ones that are into, in fact, we are excellent. But because of the, bad leadership, inconsistent leadership, because of the political this thing, jingoism they always play. They play with our future. They'll tell you the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. That was then. And I advise everybody that cares to listen. It is time to take back this country. And the time is now. Because if we sit down and allow these people to continue, playing gamble with our future, we'll sit down here, their children will still come again and still, play with our future and that of our children. And of course, posterity will never forgive them. Posterity will not even forgive us, the youth, if we sit down and do nothing. You understand? We cannot, change a system, by doing same thing. We must, apply radicalism in it. 2027 is a radical year.
Now, you've highlighted some of the challenges of youth, and you've spoken about involvement in governance,
yes,
which is bringing us to our next point. There's been the notion widely spread that young persons in Nigerians are more drawn towards the technology and social media age.
Yeah.
A lot of them show apathy when it comes to involvement in conversations around politics or even in going out to cast their votes. How do you change this narrative beyond calls which you've just made in terms of involvement in governance?
Yes, when a system, when you have disappointed somebody for so long, for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you keep disappointing, you keep breaking their heart and all of that. At some points, I said I would not vote. If not because I contested, I would not vote. Because you vote, your vote will not count. I experienced this. I witnessed it. Some of them broke their voter's card because of pain. They are saddened by the current and past government. So, as regards to involvement in probably politics or discussion like this, it's like I said, it's an individual thing, and these people have been disappointed. In fact, some of them don't want to even hear anything that has to do with politics. But it is now. Now, everybody is running around because if we want to change the government, you must actively belong. You must be part of the system. You must be part of the process that can take you to that can take you to be part of the government by joining a political party. First, getting your membership card of a political party. For that is the only way.
So you think beyond having a voter's card, it transcends?
Yes, you must you must be with a political party. And now the narrative is changing. We have young people joining into political parties now. Very, very well.
I agree with you, because when you look at some of the evidences in that direction, there have been over 135 applications on the table of INEC for registration as new political parties.
Exactly.
It's at a time when you've said that Nigerians seem to have adopted the ADC as the coalition platform. But in terms of the registrations and some of the criteria that need to be met, what is the onus on INEC to make it as transparent and as surmountable as possible to allow for more engagement?
Yeah, I think in 2020 or 2019, in 2020, I think I know they registered some political parties. Either 2020 or so, I know they registered. We had about 90 political parties, if I'm not mistaken. Why? It's too much. Even this 18 is 18 political parties now. It's too much.
Too much for a multi-party system?
It's too much.
Why do you say so?
Most of these parties don't even have House of Assembly member, even councillor, they don't have. Do you get me? So at least anybody that wants to join the ADC, we are open for membership. So for INEC, it depends on them. You understand? Probably they know why. You understand? They have their constitution, they have their policy, they have how they operate and all of that. So, but for me, personal opinion, the 18 political party is even too much.
All right, give us the scorecard. I know you said some of these parties don't have councillors and members in the State House or National Assembly. Give us the scorecard of ADC's elected political officers till date.
We have Leke is there, and we have, in fact, and that was why we were not the register, because it was one of the criteria. If you don't have If for most of these political, I will come to your question. Your question. Most of these political parties are briefcase. They don't have secretariats. Some of them don't have secretariats. Now, one of the criteria is you must have a secretariat. You must have a serving councillor, maybe House of Rep, anything. You must have somebody. You must have a position you hold in. You understand, in government. You understand. So most of these political parties did not, met those criteria. But for most of the parties, they call the mobile party. You understand? Everything is in briefcase. Do you get me? So how do you expect INEC to register more police? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It will kill the system. And most of them are political jobbers. After this, they just go for negotiation. Collect small money, pam, you don't finish. You understand? So back to your question. Sorry, come again.
Current scorecard of elected ADC members.
Okay. I think since 2019, at least I can say from there, since 2019 till date, we have over 5 House of Assembly. We have, I think, 2 House of Reps. And, with this, in fact, with the current state of, the political game in Nigeria, it was, initially, if you are not PDP, APC, nothing for you. So at least we even having more than 5, 6, 7 persons in government shows ADC is strong. There is no political party that has up to, apart from Labour, that has more than ADC, aside PDP and APC.
I know in the current political discussions, there are certain states that are looked at, and owing to the governor and state House of Assembly members, they say this is an APC state, this is a PDP state, although you don't have those numbers.
Yes.
Are there certain states and regions where you perceive that the followership of your party is strong enough to change the political landscape?
Now or then?
Currently.
We are taking over this country. Now you're talking about
states. Why I'm asking? Because the North continues to talk about how much of a voting strength they have. In states like Kano, they say they are the ones that almost decide which way the presidency goes by casting their votes. In spite of such claims and the notion that you're saying the party is taking over, can the ADC be that, would I call it, wild card that changes such conversations on which regions or which states decide certain votes?
ADC, like I said, ADC has come to stay. That is one. And that of anybody that's saying Kano or whatsoever, you understand. The fact still remains, they have the population. That's no doubt, they have the population. But then, ADC, like I said, we have a DNA, which is a handshake. And I believe the Kanus, they have accepted us.
This acceptance, is it based off of a coalition opposition leader? Because I saw a template of who's leading the party in the southeast, south, north central, northwest, northeast. Do you have any names as to why this would be so? Because I've seen ex-Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai and the party, the likes of Atiku Abubakar. Do you have these key figures in such regions as to why you feel that they'll be able to influence the party's acceptance in such regions?
Of course.
Kindly give us that rundown.
Of course, because if you go to Kogi now, Kogi majorly, there are some parts like that of what this place Leke came from, that's Yoruba angle. What was it, this thing? Forgotten. So like Kogi now in general, Kogi like, after APC, then PDP, it is ADC. My state, it is ADC.
You say your state, what state is that?
Delta State.
Delta State.
Yes, we have the population, we have the numbers, you understand. I'm talking about real life members, not people that just, real life members. We have membership across this country that in fact, our numerical strength is very colossal. It's very colossal, and that is why I'm riding in the confidence of the people that we are going to take over nationally. It will be a radical movement. I call it voters' revolution. This is not about party. ADC is just a platform, like I said. It's not about party. It's not about whether Kanu is giving 100 million votes. No. It's about the people. The Kanus are tired. Lagos State is tired. Everybody is tired.
But one other popular opinion making the rounds now is when you look at the opposition leaders that have adopted ADC, a number of them are still APC, a number of them are still PDP members, a number of them have had their tenure in government. And it's not to say, although there's no flag bearer now, that they're entirely new to the challenges we're facing.
They're entirely new?
They're not entirely new to the problems we're facing.
Of course.
Why do you feel like now on the coalition, what they did in the past will be any different from what they intend to do?
Like I said, the ADC has constitution. We have our ideologies. We have our policy. Are you getting me? And when we go into government in 2027, you will see a radical change. They must follow the tenets. They must follow the policy. They must follow the constitution. You understand? And that is why you see why some people misbehave when they get into power. It is because the party, once they win election, some of them don't even go for party meetings anymore. The party will be there. ADC will be there to guide them. You understand? Because in the ADC, like Leke now, Leke follows the party constitution, and that is why he's doing what he's doing. He's doing very excellent, even in Kogi State. He's doing very excellent. So the party will be there to guide.
Now, this template, how sustainable is it? The current template under the interim leadership. When is the next meeting? What's the projection going forward?
Yeah, with time you will definitely know.
There's no date as it were for the next meeting.
No,
we have the PDP holding theirs on the 23rd of this month.
No, for now.
APC 24th.
With time you will know.
What I'm asking is, almost it seems as though 2026 there is a time for you to test the waters, and we're already halfway through 2025.
If it's testing the waters, we've tested the waters already.
No, under the current interim leadership.
I know. We've tested the water already. We are going to win.
I need to understand where this optimism, I'd like to call it optimism, is coming from this morning, because with the reactions, particularly from the ruling All Progressive Congress, as to what the coalition is doing and the headlines making the rounds that they are destabilization plots, you said the party has tested the waters already, and you are very confident that they would be doing well. Where's that optimism coming from?
Like I said, Nigerians, I ride in the confidence of the people.
You've sampled opinions from Nigerians.
Of course. I told you I was coming here, everybody, ADC, everywhere. Everywhere.
And you're sure this will translate into actual votes?
Of course. Why? It will. Because of the ADC, I got free fuel. Yeah, I got free fuel yesterday. Free fuel. You know? So the love is massive. The love is very massive. Nigerians are tired.
Now, there's one election that a lot of persons would always cast their minds back to as an election where there was almost this consensus opinion of the Nigerian electorate. The 1993 elections, the general elections, the one which M.K. Abiola won was annulled. Do you see history repeating itself, and do you think that the ADC, then it was the SDP, do you think the ADC can somewhat replicate that feat that the SDP had in 1993?
No, nobody can snatch, or nobody can. In fact, history will never repeat itself. Never. Nigerians are wiser now. Nigerians are wiser. That is why you vote to protect your vote. Don't just vote and go home. Nigerians are wiser now. You understand? So it will never repeat itself. The youth are ready. They are ready to defend their votes, to protect their votes. You see in the last election now, there are some states where they wait till morning before they count their votes, call results. You understand? Even some old women, they were still there till morning. I'm telling you now, in my own state, that is what happened. You understand? So, it will never, in our night, it will not happen. It will not happen.
Right now, the National Assembly has begun consultation in regions
Yes.
for constitution review and amendment. There's also conversations on the need for electoral reforms ahead of the 2027 elections. Most of the conversations are on the bulk of the work resting with the electoral umpire. Do you have any advocacy this morning in regards to that?
Like you said, most of this thing rests on the INEC, right? So, you know, this coalition has caused a lot of things. And that is why you see the National Assembly trying all these things, doing blah, 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 and all of that. But to an extent, anything they want to reform, they should, if it's not going to favor Nigerians, they should stop it. You understand? If it's not going to favor Nigerians, they should stop it. It is now they want to do reform. They did not do reform last year. They did not do 2 years ago. They did not do before the 2023 elections. You understand? Anything that will not favor Nigerians, they should stop it. We'll kick against it. We'll kick against it.
In closing, we're getting into the last few minutes of this conversation. In closing, I'd just like to get your honest opinion on how far we've come on this journey of democracy. It's been over 25 years of unbroken civil rule. We've seen different dynamics in how the dividends of democracies are being yearned for by Nigerians, and the reflections of our elections in terms of how free and fair they've been. In your honest opinion, how would you rate our journey thus far?
Democracy, for me, it is sweet. But when it comes to the free and fair election, I don't think in fact, in the last I don't think we've had free and fair elections. I don't think so. And this is the time, 2027.
But people relatively say the off-cycle elections are very free and fair, and almost in real time, you can see where the votes are heading.
Yes, but not free and fair, to an extent. You understand? Generally, the general elections, majorly the presidency, governor. You see some states, the governors don't even do local government elections. They will just select. Is that democracy? You understand? Most of the things we have today in Nigeria was built by the militaries. They should emulate that. Most of our leaders, they will tell you they will do this, they will do that. When they come to power, they will do this and they will do that. At the end of the day, they get that power, they don't do anything. They use it to oppress the poor. They use poverty as a weapon. Because they know if you don't have, you cannot fight. It is when you eat, you have strength to fight, to shout. Do you get me? Now, in fact, this current regime is even the worst. Because if you protest, they kill you. And it is in the Constitution, it is part of our fundamental human rights, that when we are not satisfied with some decisions of the government, we air our views or our opinion through protests.
Now, you're talking about the 2020 NSAS protest.
No. I'm talking generally now.
If you protest, they kill you.
Yes.
It's quite a strong comment to make.
Of course.
Generally.
See, had it been, it was probably during Buhari's time or during Goodluck. You can go. How many youth have you seen on the street protesting against this government? They have brought everybody over. Hunger. You want to do, they will call the head of the organization. I take 1 million naira because you don't have money, you collect, you just tell your people to calm down. Do you get me? But the same president led the protest in
2012, Occupy Nigeria protest.
Yes. Do you get me? So all of these things is terrible. Nobody can talk. If you talk, you die. They'll look for you.
As alleged.
Yes. Do you get me? So, and that is why the ADC wants to change this narrative. That is why the ADC wants to change this narrative, because we are not, in fact, as in, it's just like we're in a military regime at this point, where you cannot air your honest opinion again, talk against the government where it is not favorable for the people. You'll be in problem.
Now, this issue of protest, as we close, I'd like to clear that, because we've seen notions where the statements put out is that the likelihood of the protest being hijacked, and we saw how the protest turned quite sad and ugly, where youth hit a certain state, I don't want to mention the name of the state, left the cause of the protest, were vandalizing government equipment, others were now flying flags of other country. Do you think that inadvertently reasons why these protests have not been allowed to go as smoothly as they have in the past is because of this fifth element who hijacked them for other intentions?
Exactly. And let me tell you something. During this during NSAS, see, let me tell you, I'm a youth leader. I'm the president of Nigerian Youth Alternative Council. I'm not just the national leader of a political party. I'm the president of number 3 beret in Africa, number 1 in Nigeria. You understand? We have affiliations with that of Julius Malema, EFF, and that of
in South Africa.
Yeah, in South Africa, we have affiliations. Even Bobby Wine. You understand?
In Uganda.
In Uganda. Now, let me tell you something you don't even know. You see, protests, yes, they hijack it, but the same government you are protesting against will still send people, to vandalize things so that they will put you in problem. These things I know, I'm saying it confidently. I know how many times I've been arrested.
For participation in protests?
Not protests, for talking.
Arrested by who?
By the government. By the government. I know how many times they have invited me to DSS.
Was it on hate speech or cyber?
No, not hate speech.
What was the allegation?
See, in 2021, when we had this yearly program, we did it in ICC. When we did our publication and all of that, so they thought probably maybe I am against the government. That is Buhari then. So they had to send for me. They had to stop the program. Said we should stop. I told them I'm not going to stop. They came on their power bikes and everything. They took me. They took me like a thief. Do you get me? And took me to DSS and was questioning me, why am I doing this program, blah, 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 because they saw Bobby Wine in the picture. Do you get me? I said, no, I'm not against the government. We are only doing this to sensitize Nigerian youth. That is all. So, even if you talk, they will still come for you. Talk more of doing a public demonstration. Now, wahala now.
Well, Icon Nixon, Chukwuka, this is as much as time would allow for us, but I'm hoping that we can revisit these conversations after probably the ADC NEC meeting and when the party has a consensus on date for its primary and national convention as well. But then again, we wish the interim leadership of the ADC all the best. The Nigerian media and its responsibility would continue to be watchdogs and follow the activities when we look to reconvene on these conversations again.
Of course. Thank you very much. And